I guess first, is it nice to be back in town after a little bit of fun yesterday?
Yeah, it was we were gone a long time, and this much in November, and we're at Montana, at McHale. Now we were gone for a week for that tournament, so we're looking forward to getting some home games, getting back in front of our crowd and Taco Bell Arena, and we play a game Wednesday tomorrow night, and then we got a road game on Saturday. Then we're home for a month, so really looking forward to the homestand. We got a big challenge this week to get our legs back under us and get ready to play again.
How big is this? This stretch coming up for you guys? Trying to get on the right side of it.
Yeah.
I know obviously in Oregon you might have a ranked team, but just trying to get back on the winning side of it and get those wins rolling.
You look at we've played some great minutes this year already, but we've also played some amazing competition. I mean, a lot of people are talking about Michigan State being the best team in the country right now, and I felt like we were toe to toe with them most of that game. There was that little stretch where Denzel went out of body, and we just we lost him in that little stretch. But other than that whole game we battled them, and so I was really proud of our guys. I think we ran out of gas again in that Arizona game. With I think Drimmick was really tired after playing a lot of minutes all 3 days, and he's just not ready for that yet. So we are getting better. That kind of competition makes you a better team, and that's the most important thing. And, we can't get discouraged because we're not right where we want to be in the win column yet, but because part of that's the schedule. We'd like to have won a couple more, but now we got some great opportunities in front of us.
How hard is that when you look at the record and you balance playing tough teams where you might not win with playing some cupcakes and getting wins and knowing tournament time what that could mean, that kind of stuff? How hard is the stretch been from that standpoint?
It's really hard, but as coaches and players, sometimes we just know what's in front of us, and we really it's not really a cliche. You're just so focused on what you're doing and trying to get better that you kind of don't whether it's great or whether it's not good. You sometimes don't exactly know what your record is. You're just trying to get that next one, trying to get better, and trying to become that team that can compete for Mountain West Championship. And I saw that in stretches at that tournament. So that's what I'm encouraged by. Now those stretches have to become longer, and those stretches have to become complete games, and we haven't done that yet. So we've got to be able to do that to accomplish the mission of what we want to do, and that's to win the Mountain West.
How do you explain some of the stretches in the other direction, some of the poor stretches that we've seen?
Well, I think it's the development of our bench isn't there yet. Our rotations, I don't have those figured out yet. I'm scratching my head on those because we've got 11 guys, and it's tough to play 11 guys. So we got to find the right rotations and the right, where the pieces all fit together. And like I always say, each team's different. We got to find the strengths of this team and then play to those strengths, because we might be doing a few things that we won't be doing in 2 months. And you look back on last year, there certainly was the case. I mean, we didn't play James Webb the first 5 games. We didn't, we went on that 4-game losing streak, and then we kind of settled into the right rotation, and so that does take time, and we want to give these guys an opportunity to fit in and how they best fit in, and that's what we're still trying to figure out.
Versus UC Irvine, obviously Anthony had such a good game offensively. Were you kind of eager to see how he'd respond to that workload, considering as the injury that he's been having going on?
I think I kind of knew what could happen, but he's the horse, and he's the guy that can get it done against an Arizona, and so you kind of got to live and die with that. But I just think physically he couldn't stand up to that. Right? Anthony. Everybody in Bronco Nation knows he'll give it all, and he'll do everything he can for the team. And he just didn't have anything left in his tank. I mean, I was talking to Mark Few the other day, and he said you need to give him a spa day or something. He looked exhausted. So we're trying to figure that out. Get him a spa day with some juice and lemons and a rub or something. I don't know.
We obviously kind of. I know you sat him. What was it, a week and a half ago or a week ago or whatnot? And you look at tomorrow's opponent. Is that something that you're going to kind of?
Well, it's all based on his health. Yeah. He's a senior. He wants to play these games. I mean, every kid wants to play, so we don't want to hold him out just to hold him out. And people want to come watch him play, and he needs to get better. And he's gonna be able to play through that. That's why this tournament's so good, because it shows him where he has to get to, and his body will adjust, and his body will get there. And so, that's what we're shooting for in March, and we've got to play in the Mountain West tournament. That's kind of like what we played in down there. So it kind of sets the standard of where we need to be and where he needs to be, and I think he'll get there.
After the Arizona game, you challenged the bench a little bit. You kind of want to see those guys step up a little more, and I guess seems like, the games like tomorrow are prime opportunities for that. How eager are you to see those guys kind of respond to that a little bit?
Yeah, I am. I'm really eager, and I'm real. Their development is crucial to this team, and so it's something that we got to be focused on. It's something they have to do every day, and they have to take ownership in it. And I think they will. They're good guys. They're hard workers, and they want to do what's best for the team.
You said you not necessarily disappointed in what they've brought. It's just that you don't maybe know what they can bring. Is that if you pull out Nick, what is what's someone else that can get in there try to replace it with? Is that the struggle for you?
I think the struggle for me is it's when you reach in your wallet and pull out a $5 bill, you want to get a $5 bill. You don't want a $1 bill, or you don't even need a $10 bill. You need a $5 bill. And I think that's the analogy I would use. When I look down the bench and I put somebody in, I want to know what I'm going to get. And I think we've had a little too much up and down with that. And they do some good things, but then they offset it. And then, so we just need a consistency, and we need to. Those $5 bills need to be $5 bills.
With the fouls, you've been in foul trouble, it seems like, at times, and I don't know if it's the new rules or just you're learning how to play defense, or how do you look at the fouls?
You look at around the country. I mean, you watch the championship game. Denzel was in foul trouble. Chris Dunn was in foul trouble in every game in that tournament. So, that's the thing that I think where we kind of, as guardians of the game, as people trying to figure out the rules, we can call more fouls, but let's give guys 6 fouls like the NBA does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're going to call it like the NBA, you can't put 2 fouls on a guy right away, and then then you're like Izzo was saying, he was paranoid to keep him out there, and you're not paranoid because one touch and that's his third, and that changes the game. So, I mean, I think that's where maybe it has to evolve. Is that we got to give guys 6 fouls if we're gonna. You can punish them by sending the other team to the free throw line. But you want your best players to be able to play, and so I don't think we're any different than anybody else. But we do have to keep adjusting and trying to find out what's best for us.
It just seems like we're seeing a lot of games where the games are being decided maybe with not the best players on the floor, and you guys have had stretches where whether it's Webb or Drimmick, they go out and the other team takes advantage of it.
Yeah, and that's hurt us big time. And so if you have like those veterans and those elite players, and then you lose them, and there is going to be a natural drop off in most teams. I mean. Maybe the Jayhawks don't have a drop-off, or Kentucky, but the rest of us, there is. And we have to figure that out. We have to keep getting better at it, and, I know we will. Jay?
I remember a couple, last year, a couple years ago, that they tried to make these rule changes, and then they kind of like slowly went back to the old style almost. I mean, have you seen a more consistent approach? I mean,
I haven't seen consistency, no. And that's the hard part. And again, I think all the referees are trying to figure it out. But the referee system is a funny system. I mean, you go to these tournaments and there's a referee from all different leagues and guys that have never worked together. So that makes it difficult on them because there's no flow to it. And so it'll be nice to get back into when we get a consistency. And I think we'll see that consistency when we get to conference more, and when we get our conference officials more. That we're going to see a little bit more, and then we can adjust to them; they'll adjust to us, and I think you'll see a little bit better basketball.
Has there been anything that surprised your team through this first month of the season?
Well, not surprising, but we knew. I mean, Michigan State was going to be good, and we knew Arizona. But how hard our schedule's been, that's been, it's one thing to look at it on paper; it's the next to go do it and live it. And like I said, though, I did this somewhat on purpose. We got a veteran team that needs this, and for us to get as good as we want to get, you got to play the really, really good teams, and we did. We got, like I said, we got to play one of the best teams in the country in Michigan State. Now we played Arizona twice, and I'm pretty sure. Do we have Arizona on the schedule next week too?
Yeah.
It seems like every other week. I think they're getting sick of us, and we're getting sick of them. But so.
How would you kind of assess, the play you've gotten out of your guard so far? I know Arizona's a tough matchup that way.
Yeah.
Mikey's been a guy who's kind of seemed to accelerate himself this year. But how would you kind of assess that group as a whole?
I think Mikey's doing a great job. He had a little bit of a rough stretch against Arizona with 6 turnovers, but before that, he's been playing terrific, just kind of quietly doing his job and doing it well. I think as a team, defensively, we've got to get a lot better. And then I think we don't have those. Maybe if we have a bad stretch of offense, we kind of sustain it enough that we can win those games. But right now, as soon as our offense stops clicking at all, then we dig ourselves a hole.
I know that the the NCAA tournament obviously is a long ways away, but it's almost like you guys kind of put yourself through maybe a mock this last week with how much you had to play and the type of competition you had to play. Is that a way that you can view this at all?
Well,
eventually?
I just view it as the level we need to get to go on the road and win in the Mountain West, and be at home against San Diego State and those kind of games. And that's what we're shooting for. The true measure is the league, and that's our goal, is to win the league. And so that's what we have to get to. And when you stack up Michigan State, Arizona, UC Irvine, not in these road games at Montana, I mean, those are league games and league atmospheres. And so I think it shows us the level we have to get to, and it exposed. There's one thing if we play like BJ said, if we play 20 cupcakes, you don't get exposed, and you feel great. You have this false sense of security that's not going to help the team get better. So, when you look at the old Michigan State teams, I think you'd see this a lot with Coach Izzo's teams. They'd go 3-3 or start out 4-3, and you'd look up and they were 20-3, and they won the league and they went to the Final Four. So I think they learned that you'd always have them learn a lot in those early games, and as long as we take it and learn it and get better from it, then it's going to help us.
That's